Good evening, I'm Naomi, and this is Medieval Nightly News. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful spring evening. Our first story tonight is on a troubling disease that is taking the lives of millions across Europe. This horribly scary disease is known as the Black Death. While this is still very much a developing story, we do know some bits of information. Officials have informed us that this plague is very contagious and very, very dangerous. What is even scarier is that once one person in a household gets the plague, it is practically a death sentence for the entire family. We hope you will gain some insight into this plague over the next few minutes. Let's now go to Dr. Samuels for more information.
Thanks, Naomi. Through the many, many hours that my colleagues and I have been researching the Black Death, we have had a few breakthroughs. For one thing, we discovered that there is not one, but two types of the Black Death. The first kind takes the lungs as a host. After settling in the lungs, the plague will practically liquefy the lungs in only a few days' time. This will cause you to cough up your lungs, obviously killing you. The second type of the plague affects your ability to clot. Basically, you lose your ability to clot, and so you will bleed out from everywhere. Both of these are exceptionally dangerous. In addition, we have figured out how the Black Death is transmitted. It started out with rats who has the disease. These rats transmitted the disease to fleas, who then beat the humans. The humans then got the disease, and it spread like wildfire. Right now, my best suggestions are to stay inside and away from people as much as possible. In addition, prayer is essential at a time like this, so don't forget to pray and ask that you will be safe and healthy. Now, back to you at the studio.
Our next story is on the ever-famous Marco Polo, who everybody seems to love. There's no doubt that he's the top celebrity of today. But do you know what he's up to these days? In case you haven't kept up with your latest polo news, here's a basic recap of his amazing life. At the age of 17, he started his journey with his uncle and father to trade goods. After 4 long years, they reached China in all of its beauty. After a while, the Mongolian Emperor Kublai Khan made Marco his right-hand man. He was his eyes and his ears. No doubt, he was super important to the Chinese people. He worked very close with Kublai Khan for 20 years. After that, he decided to go back to his home, Venice, Italy. Gorgeous place, by the way. The last we heard from him, he got captured in battle and was sitting in jail until now. Apparently his cellmate is an author, and over time that Marco was there, he told him all of his stories and interesting adventures. The man decided to write them all down and to compile them into a book. The book is to be published soon, and we can't wait to read it. We are all sure that is an amazing read, because after all, Marco Polo is so many remarkable stories and tales to share. If you are just as excited as us for this book to release, let us know by sending us a letter. If we like it, we might read it live on air. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Are you sick and tired of heavy pelts constantly weighing on you like so many? Well, if you are, then join the revolution, the spinning wheel revolution. Through the use of modern technology, you can now transform raw wool into yarn or thread to create lightweight coats. The spinning wheel makes the perfect gift for any celebration. It's fun for the whole family. Call now at 683-912-8548. That's 683-912-8548 to order your spinning wheel today.
Welcome back. Our next story has been affecting millions of Americans for the past few years,
and I'm sure we're all very well aware of it. It's called the Great Famine. Many people, however, do not know much about it. The famine was caused by seemingly perpetual bad weather. This weather has killed practically all of the crops and caused a mass panic throughout Europe. Many people have already died of starvation, and this, of course, includes the children. The remarkable thing about this famine is the area that it's covering. It's really quite astounding. It's baffling all the experts, and they have no predictions as to when it will end. In addition, it was announced yesterday that due to the famine, the average life expectancy has been lowered by about 5 years. Let's go to the streets and see what people have to say about this.
Okay, today we're going to interview someone about the Great Famine. Let's see who we can get. Hello, ma'am. Can you please tell us a little bit about the Great Famine?
I'm starving. I'm so hungry. Do you have food?
No, but this is a good depiction of what is happening in the world.
My children are starving. My husband is starving.
True that.
Can you help me? Can you help me?
I wish I could. This is getting so dramatic.
I need food.
Thank you. Now, on a much lighter note, the annual jousting competition occurred this past weekend. Officials tell us that the tournament had a record turnout this year. Our very own Willow Smith was there and told us that it was very exciting. The tournament consisted of battles on horseback between parties of knights. The goal is to hit either the knights or their horses with your combatant. In an individual tournament, or a tournament between only 2 knights, once you are hit with the combatant, you are disqualified and your opponent comes out victorious. Tourney propers, on the other hand, are the most brutal type of tournaments. In this, the object is to knock as many people off their horses until a winner is determined. This one is an especially exciting one because one of the knights was the king's son, Henry. He ended up with the 2nd place, but it was quite a show. The winner of the individual tournament, James, took the king's daughter as his prize.
Are you tired of living in fear that you and your family will be attacked by hooligans at any moment? Are you sick of the threat that swords pose? Well, if you are, then Sword Attack Insurance, available exclusively with Knights Insurance Co., will lessen your concerns. With our policy, any sword attack victim will receive a legal representative. Don't live your life in fear anymore. This exclusive offer won't be available for long, so call now at 746-369-6862. Call now for the deal of a lifetime.
No, just go.
Can you start talking?
This thing's really cool. They see me rolling. Still very much is an author.
An Orthodox author.
Is an author.
Is an Orthodox author.
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 So just stand there and look pretty.
I forgot my own name. There we go. That's a little sad. Our first story.
The average life since officials hasn't had
Even scarier is that once one person.
You guys are awkward. In only a few days' time, this will cause you